Here's the top Salt Lake City suburbs you can afford to live in based on your salary. Let's start with $5,410 per month or $65,000 per year. Number one on the list is the Eagle Point community in Eagle Mountain, Utah. Homes starting at $330,000. Let's factor in a 7% interest rate and include a 2-1 buy down. So that means a monthly payment on the house with 10% down and a 7% interest rate with a 2-1 buy down would be as follows. In year one, your payment would be around $1,782 per month. Year two, $1,969 per month. In year three, $2,164. The monthly income required to afford at 40% is around $5,410. That means your annual salary would need to be around $65,000 to afford this home. Number two on the list is South Salt Lake. Homes starting at $320,000. If we factor in the 7% interest rate with a 2-1 buy down, year one, we're looking at around $1,720, year two, $1,900, and year three, $2,090. The monthly income required to afford this property at 40% would be $5,225, meaning you would need to make about $62,700 per year. Now moving on to the $80,000 to $100,000 price range. This is a pretty big price bracket. And keep in mind that almost every city mentioned will have options available at almost every price point, but these are the two cities where you will have the easiest time finding something within your budget. Number one on the list is Saratoga Springs with a population around 60,000 people. The median home price is around $526,000, and the monthly payment on a house with 10% down payment at a 7% interest rate would be around $3,330. The monthly income required to afford at 40% of your income would be around $8,250 a month. New construction single-family homes for sale in the current market is around $439,000. This means you need to earn about $85,000 to live in Saratoga Springs. Now, Saratoga Springs has one of the lowest median home prices in Salt Lake City, and there are options that are still in the mid 300,000s. They will be older homes or townhomes, since Saratoga Springs is largely new builds, but this is a great spot to find a more affordable home. Number two is Lehigh. Lehigh has a population of 90,000 people. The median price is around $610,000, and the monthly payment on the house with 10% down and a 7% interest rate is around $3,900 monthly. Income required to afford at 40% of your income is around $9,750 a month. New construction homes for sale is about $535,000. This means you need to earn about $105,000 annually. This town is expanding fast, and master planned communities such as Cold Spring Ranch and Willow Point by Edge Homes has townhomes starting in the mid 300s and are paving the way for massive growth in the next decade. And of course, we've already toured these areas, so if you want to check out what it's like to actually live in Lehigh, make sure to check out these videos where you can get an in-depth tour of what it's like to actually live in this area. Number three is Midvale. Midvale, Utah is a population of 35,000. The median home price is around $455,000. The monthly payment on a house with 10% down at a 7% interest rate is around $2,900 a month. And the monthly income required to afford a 40% would be $7,250. New construction homes don't really exist here very often, and it's another suburb that is rapidly expanding and conveniently located to freeway access and the Wasatch Mountains. It's one of the few areas in Salt Lake County in this price range. Hey, it's Scott. If you're thinking about moving to the Salt Lake City area or the surrounding suburb, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you can get the latest information about the Salt Lake City market. I love helping people just like you move to Utah, so whether you're thinking about moving in 5 days or 5 months, make sure to reach out to us. Our contact information is below. We look forward to talking to you soon. Now, if you're earning between $100,000 to $125,000 per year, more options are coming to the table. Number one on the list is Liberty Wells. Liberty Wells is a neighborhood of Salt Lake City with a population of around 10,000 people. The median home price is around $630,000. The monthly payment on a house with 10% down at a 7% rate is around $4,000 per month, and the monthly income required to afford at 40% of your income would be about $10,000. Liberty Wells is rapidly growing in popularity due to its proximity to Sugar House, accessibility to downtown Salt Lake City, and the charming architectural designs. If you see yourself in a home that might cost a little bit more, but is quickly appreciating in value and becoming more popular, this is a great neighborhood to consider. Next on this list would be Daybreak, which has a population of around 45,000 people. The median home price is around $630,000, and the monthly payment on a house with 10% down at a 7% rate would be around $4,200 if you factor in the additional HOA payment. The monthly income required to afford at 40% would be $10,500 a month. New construction homes for sale are starting around $608,000, meaning you need to make about $9,600 monthly. Daybreak is one of the fastest growing communities in all of Utah, with plans of doubling in size from 10,000 residents to 20,000 over the next 2 decades. You can also find several new construction communities here, so if you're looking for a new build, make sure to check out this suburb, especially if community living is important to you. If you want to know a little bit more about Daybreak, make sure to check out the other videos that we've already done, full vlog tours to give you an exact feel of what it's like to live in this community. And if you want to be a little bit closer to Salt Lake City, you have Bountiful, which is one of the first cities as you go north into Davis County. Bountiful has a population of 43,800 people with a median sales price of $573,000. The monthly payment on a house with 10% down and 7% interest rate would be $3,750. The monthly income required to afford at 40% would be $9,378. Now, Bountiful is completely built out, so there's really no new construction opportunities. They're going to be very few and far between. But if you want a nice suburban living experience, this is a great spot with close proximity to downtown Salt Lake City. Now, in the next price range up from about $125,000 to $150,000, that brings us to a suburb like Sandy. Sandy is a population of 95,600 people. The median home value price is around $646,600. On average, a monthly payment on a house with 10% down and a 7% rate is going to be around $4,260 monthly, and the monthly income required at 40% is around $10,600. Let's break Sandy down by zip code because Sandy has a wide range of prices. For example, in the 84070 zip code, the median sales price is only $425,000, but in 84093, it's $958,000, more than double of what it is in 84070. And in 84092, it's $1 million. Now, this is largely due to neighborhoods like Pepperwood, which is some of the most expensive real estate in the entire state. So you can see that even within the same city, there can be a wide range of prices and income requirements. Now let's talk about Mill Creek, which is really known for outdoor enthusiasts and having really close proximity to a lot of hiking and biking trails. The population of Mill Creek is around 63,000 people. The median home price is around $612,000, and the monthly payment on a house with 10% down at a 7% rate is going to be around $4,030. The monthly income requirement to afford at 40% would be $10,077. New construction homes for sale is only about 15 currently on the market, and most of those will be over $1 million. So you're looking at older homes, but in more established neighborhoods. And of course, if you want to know all about Mill Creek, make sure to check out our other video where we give you a full tour of Mill Creek and everything it has to offer. Next on the list is Harriman. Harriman is another one of those suburbs that is rapidly building. There's new inventory here as it's one of the few areas left in the Salt Lake Valley with available land. Harriman has a population of 59,000 people with a median home price of about $591,000. A monthly payment on a house with 10% down at a 7% rate is around $3,890. The monthly income required to afford at 40% is $9,700. New construction homes for sale is starting around $560,000. That means you need a salary of around $125,000 per year to afford to live in Harriman. And of course, if you want to know a little bit more about Harriman, we filmed a complete vlog tour of Harriman, which should give you a very good idea of the community and the types of homes for sale. Now we're moving up between the $150,000 to $175,000 salary range. Moving on up in income brings us to a place like Holiday, which is becoming more and more exclusive. Holiday only has a population of around 30,000 people. The median home price is around $787,600. At 10% down at a 7% rate, it's around $5,112 per month. The monthly income required to afford at 40% would be around $12,780. That means you need an annual income of around $155,000 to afford to live in Holiday. And by the way, if you want to know everything about Holiday, we also did a full vlog tour to give you an exact feel for what that community is like. Next on the list is Draper. Draper has historically been one of the most expensive cities, and that trend continues today. Due to its highly rated school districts and breathtaking views of the valley, Draper is a very sought after neighborhood. The population of Draper is around 50,700 people, and the median home price is around $775,000. A monthly payment on a house with 10% down at a 7% rate is around $5,000 a month. The monthly income required to afford a 40% would be around $12,600. New construction homes for sale is around 28. New construction starts at around $700,000, and on a house with a 10% down payment and 7% rate would be around $4,587 a month. The monthly income required would be $11,400. Now we're going to jump to the very edge of the price range from about $175,000 to $300,000 annual salary. What can this get you, and in what neighborhoods would people in that price range most likely want to live? In this range of suburbs is some of the most sought after neighborhoods and large homes, so the price of admission into these suburbs is going to be pretty high. Starting with Olympus Cove. Prices vary from around $900,000 all the way up to the multi-millions, with a median home price of $1.2 million. At a 10% down, 7% interest rate, it's around $7,600. The monthly income required to afford a 40% would be around $19,000 per month. Another highly desirable and historic neighborhood is Yale-Crest. Yale-Crest is home to some of the most unique architecture and established neighborhoods. The median sales price is around $1.775 million. A monthly payment at 10% down and 7% would cost you around $11,300, and a monthly income requirement to afford a 40% would be around $28,300 per month just to be able to afford to live here. Of course, we didn't cover everything here, but these are the top suburbs depending on your income and how much you're trying to stay under that monthly payment. Now, if you have any specific questions, we understand everyone's situation is going to be a little bit different, so make sure to reach out to us. Our contact information is in the description below, and we'd be happy to go through the details of which suburbs might make the most sense based off of your salary.